Welcome to the video that's going to save you a lot of time and money. If you're about to launch a Shopify store or are considering it, make sure to follow this checklist very, very closely, as it's going to give you a much better chance of succeeding with your store. Here's some statistics from 2 months ago. On one of my stores, I had my highest sales day, which was almost $7,000 at a 6% conversion rate. This day made about $3,000 in profit. So it was nearly like a 45% profit margin. As you can see, the added to cart and whatnot was very close to the conversion rate. So people were coming and they were checking out, completing the purchase. And the reason that I had success like this is because I followed this exact checklist. So I put this together with the exact steps that I took to build out my stores, and we're going to cover it here in this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dylan Pearson, and since the beginning of 2019, I've done about $550,000 in total sales across my Shopify stores. This one specifically has generated about $300,000, and I've got a couple more that are doing decent, making some good profit. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, as I drop a minimum of 1 video per week, and sometimes I drop 2. I make sure all my videos are very, very high quality, and I want to bring you guys the utmost value possible. So let's go ahead and jump in to the checklist. Here is the Shopify checklist you need to follow prior to starting a Shopify store. I know I titled it as beginners, and that's mainly where a lot of this topic lies. But if you're someone that's launched stores before and just haven't found success with it, you're most likely missing a portion of this checklist. So this video is going to be very, very valuable to you also. Why is it important to follow a checklist like this? Well, launching a Shopify store without accurate preparation will result in a loss of your investment. You're going to become frustrated, and you're going to have a negative look on e-com. You see a lot of people on the internet saying that, this doesn't work, drop shipping doesn't work, private labeling, saturated, all this stuff. And it's because it didn't work for them, and it's because they didn't take the right steps to prepare themselves to succeed. So that's what we're going to prevent here, and we're going to cover exactly what you need to do. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. So here's the checklist. It's only 4 steps, but you need to go into depth in each of these steps and really make sure you understand it. So the first one is mindset. Mindset is very, very, very important when launching a Shopify store. Next, you want to set goals, but you want them to be measurable. You want to be able to understand if you're progressing in your skills, if your ads are progressing, if your store is getting better, etc., etc. Next, you need to know your budget. You need to know how much money you have to invest and if it's the right time for you to begin in this journey. Next, and the most important part after those first 3, is the marketing knowledge. This is how you're going to make your sales, so it is very important. Take a screenshot of this and make sure you check off the boxes as we go along here. Module 1, mindset. So your mind is a flexible mirror. Adjust it, and you will see a better world. And this really applies to anything in life. You see those people that are very negative about things, and everyone falls into that occasionally. But the most important part is ensuring that you get out of that negative mindset and look at the positives in things. Don't look at something that doesn't go right as a failure. Look at it as a learning experience. Grow from it. And that's exactly the type of mindset you need to succeed with a Shopify store and in e-com in general. So what kind of mindset do you have right now? Do you have a growth mindset, or are you more in a fixed mindset? The growth mindset is I can learn anything I want to. When I'm frustrated, I persevere. I want to challenge myself. I want to become a better person. My effort and attitude determine everything. Or are you on the side of fixed mindset? I'm either good at it or I'm not. If I get frustrated, whatever, just forget it. If something doesn't work right away, it's clearly that their fault. It's not mine. I'm not doing anything wrong. And once again, in order to succeed, you need the growth mindset. So if you're in a fixed mindset right now, it's not that this isn't for you. You just have to switch that mindset. It might not be easy, but if you work at switching that mindset and persevering through the negative thoughts in your head, your mind will adjust to that growth mindset. And the growth mindset is incredibly important. If you don't have the growth mindset, the rest of this checklist doesn't matter, because you won't be able to succeed in this. So mindset is very important, and I want you guys to focus place a big emphasis on improving your thoughts and focus on the positives in things that might not necessarily have went the way you wanted it to. The next portion of the checklist is setting goals. And a lot of people say set goals, but you need to set measurable goals. It's kind of like going to the gym and you say, I want to get stronger. That's completely arbitrary because sure, I could go for a couple days and maybe I curl 25 pounds instead of 20, but in reality, is that what you wanted to happen? So for the gym example, I would say I want my bench press to go from 145 to 195. So you want to set measurable goals, and you can do this with ecom, and it's just like anything else in life that you can apply analytics to. You can set a goal with ecom, and it's very, very important. So set a goal for your first 2 weeks of launch. Don't look in the long term and say I want to be a millionaire just yet. You want to set a goal for the first 2 weeks and be reasonable. Don't say I want 100 sales in the first 2 weeks. Set some reasonable goals. So I put some examples here that I thought were some decent ones. And at the end of 2 weeks, I will have 5 abandoned checkouts. Maybe I'll make my first sale. I want to understand the difference between good and bad copywriting. I want to be able to name my competitors that are selling a similar product or the same product. Set goals like this. Set goals that once you reach it, you can check it off. And on the way to reaching it, you can see yourself progressing, because seeing yourself progressing will give you that reassurance that you're doing something right. So setting measurable goals for your Shopify store and your journey into this type of business model is very, very important. So make sure to place a focus on setting these goals. Module 3, budget. So this is where I see a ton of questions on the internet. Hey, can I do this if I don't have any money? I don't have a job. Is $100 enough to start a brand? Am I going to lose my money? Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of topics revolving around budget, and it is a very important topic. So the main question I want you to ask yourself is, do you have available funds to invest into learning and building a new store? So you got to remember that this is not get rich quick. Don't start if you don't have money to invest without an initial return. So don't go into this thinking I'm going to take my last $25 or $100 to my name, put it in, and come out with more money than what I started with. There's a 99% chance that is not the case. If you plan to use Facebook ads, personally, I recommend them a minimum of $2,000 in flexible spend and budgeting. A lot of people probably just got taken back by that number I just named, but having launched multiple stores that are making a good amount of profit, I know what it takes me to spend in order to start getting sales and start generating a profit. You have to look at Facebook ads as an investment initially. You need to spend money to get the data that allows Facebook to put your product in front of the right people that will buy it. Imagine that you're going fishing and you go out in the middle of this 500-mile wide lake and you have no idea what's beneath the water, so you just cast out your pole. Keep casting it out there. It's most likely you're not going to catch fish unless you get very lucky. But now imagine you have a GPS system. It shows you the fish underneath the water. It shows you hot spots. That might have cost you $1,000 to buy, but now you're catching those fish on repeat. Imagine that those fish are conversions. You put the money in to buy that GPS, which is the data on Facebook, and then Facebook's going to be able to tell you where those hotspots are and put your hook right in front of the people that will buy your product. So with Facebook, especially if you're brand new, you're going to want a minimum, in my opinion, of $2,000, because you're going to need to test your product. You're going to need to find the right ads, the right video ad, the right creative, the right copy for it. You want to test like click-through rates, et cetera, et cetera. And if you're new to Facebook ads, I have an 1 hour and 8 minute long free course on this channel that you need to watch. I go into depth how you can test ads on a low budget and really learn what you need to do to succeed with that investment into Facebook ads. So watch that if you have not yet. I'll put a link down in the description. But my honest opinion is yes, $2,000 is a reasonable amount to have to start and eventually succeed with Facebook ads for a product. So if that's not for you, you might want to reconsider launching. You're going to see some people talk about $10 per day or for specific ad sets, $5 per day ad sets, but that might have been working in 2015, 2016. That's not the case anymore. And also, those people that are saying that, ask them for their proof. I would question the legitimacy of what they're stating they have done. So I don't want to go out there and name anyone specifically, but I've seen it out there before where people are saying you can spend $10 a day when in reality they're just plugging a course and they're making money off you without actually doing this. That's my biggest pet peeve in this entire industry, by the way, is people that are trying to teach people how to do something that they've never done before. So stay away from that, guys. And I truly, it's straightforward advice here. I don't use $10 per day ad sets and make sales. I start my ad sets at a minimum of $20 per day. And as soon as I see some results coming in, I bump it up to like $40 to $50 per day. So that's per ad set. There's a lot of competition with Facebook ads now, but there's also a lot of money to be made. But you're going to need that minimum investment to spend. So if it's your last $2,000 too, this isn't probably for you. You don't want to feel like if you lose this $2,000, it's the end of the world, because this is a learning process and it will take time. With that said, if you have a free source of high quality organic traffic, like a YouTube channel that you have a following on, or maybe you have a nice Instagram page you have a following, an email list, or anything else that you can drive people from to a product that they're interested in that relates to a problem they have or something that they might want to buy, I still recommend them a minimum of $100 just to cover all your Shopify costs for a month or two. It's the minimum Shopify plan is $30 per month, but there are some apps out there that can help once you're getting some sales. Don't worry about apps until you start getting sales. When I launch stores, I don't even use apps at all. So literally, I have like 2 apps, and that's de-essers to fulfill orders, and that's literally about it. I might use like a sticky edit cart, but no apps. I just I launch it with that minimum of $100 for the first 2 months, and maybe 3 months of the Shopify plan, and that's all you're gonna need for a free source of high quality organic traffic. I didn't list Instagram influencers because I don't use them. I've tried them, but in my opinion, Instagram influencers, in terms of like the meme pages and pages that aren't real people with like a very engaged following, I haven't found much success with that. And I don't want to say it doesn't work anymore, because I, once again, don't like to give advice on something that I haven't found success in. But I don't know. I'm not going to cover that topic. So Instagram influencers might work for you, and you could do like $20 posts, but it's not a consistent source of revenue, because with Facebook ads you can constantly scale, generate new audiences, and with Instagram influencers you can post to a page maybe once or twice and get some sales, but then that audience of that page is going to be exhausted. You're going to have to find a new page, and some of these pages use fake followers. There's a lot of stuff going on with Instagram right now, so I personally don't use it. Module 4. If you've completed the first 3 portions of this checklist, you're on to marketing. And this is, I don't know why I made this such a boring looking slide, but it's actually the most fun slide, if you want to say so. I'll move out of the way once I get down here. But marketing is how you're going to find and send high quality traffic that contains potential buyers to your store and your product. So if you answered Facebook ads, listen up. I want you right now, if you're one of the people that said, I'm going to use Facebook ads, I want you to grab a piece of paper and write out your marketing funnel, your retargeting. I want you to be able to tell me the best type of website conversion objective that's going to give you the lowest cost per result to test with. So basically, like, what I'm saying here is, if you said Facebook ads and you're pretty new to Facebook ads, there's a lot of learning you're going to need to do for this marketing portion. So once you complete those first 3 steps, you need to focus on learning the basics of marketing prior to jumping into Facebook ads. You need to understand how a funnel works, how you take someone from the awareness phase to the consideration phase to the conversion phase, and then how you remarket to those existing customers. Marketing is truly what you're doing here. I know like a Shopify store and drop shipping and whatnot is the main topic that people are searching, people are talking about right now, but really that's just the end of the funnel. Everything that gets the customer to that portion is marketing. It's digital marketing, and you need to know it to get to that last portion of the funnel, the bottom end. So once again, I do have an hour and 8-minute long course on marketing, how you can build out a funnel within Facebook ads and really learn to test and drive people through it to end up buying. So that link's in the description too. But module 4 is the most in-depth one. You can have the mindset, you can have everything else in order, you can have the budget, and if you don't understand marketing, you're not going to get sales because you're not going to be able to put the right offer with the right copy and the right creative in front of the right person with Facebook ads. So learn marketing. I do have that video, but there's a lot of information out there on marketing. I even recommend a book that I just purchased. It is called Ogilvy on Advertising. So David Ogilvy did campaigns for Hathaway shirts, Schweppes, the drinks, the famous electric clock for Rolls-Royce. He did some for like Guinness. And this is a book that I bought on Amazon. And it doesn't go into like specifics of like today's current, marketing platforms like Facebook or Google AdWords. But what it does a great job of is explaining one of the innovators in marketing's mindset of how you should be thinking about the customer relationship and how he builds out ads and, everything. And even though this was written in like 1950, I got so much value out of this, and I just read this about a month ago, so I'm already pretty deep in, and this book still just helped me refresh my mindset on really what this is all about and how you can get those purchases and build that customer relationship. So I know this is like a big topic for just a checklist to start a Shopify store, but once again, guys, I'm trying to help you out here so you don't waste that money in launching it. And I want you to find success. So this book, Ogilvy on Advertising, I'll put a link down in Amazon for the Amazon book too. And if you're new to marketing, read it. It's going to give you a great idea of how you should go about thinking of your funnel, and really, this book might be the reason that you find success with Facebook ads eventually. So recommend checking that out. But marketing is a huge aspect, is the biggest aspect after, mindset and whatnot and finding your product and building out your copy. But marketing's very, very important. So learn marketing. Don't think that I can launch an ad on Facebook and drive sales. So, if that's what you answered, I'm gonna use Facebook ads. Don't think that you're going to launch an ad, get a click, and someone's going to buy from you. You need to understand that you need to take them through a journey. You need to take them from being aware that you have something that can solve a problem for them to understanding why they need to buy it from you. So books like this help out. My free course that's in the description helps out. And I recommend really learning marketing prior to thinking of this as a failure if you're not getting sales. I want you to remember one thing out of everything that you've learned here today is you can and will find success if you don't give up and you learn from your failure. You're going to launch your store. You're probably going to spend some money on, ads and maybe some influencers and whatnot. But what you need to look at it as, and this comes back to the mindset portion, is that you didn't fail. You're improving upon time. You go to the gym, you put the work in eventually to become like a bodybuilder. It's the same thing. You need to put the work in. You need to take the mistakes that you made and build upon them and learn from them. Apply that to your store, your marketing, your Facebook ads, and you can and you will find success. That's exactly how I did it, guys. I spent so much money up front, failing so many times. I'm wearing a shirt of a company I launched a few years ago that I failed. I've launched probably 15 online businesses from e-com to startup apps that all failed. And the thing is for the past 5 years, I've taken those mistakes and I've built upon it to get to the point where now my Shopify stores are making 6 figures a month at a decent profit margin. So just don't give up, continue to learn, focus on the mindset, and make sure you don't check off these boxes real quick and then forget about it, but really think to yourself, do I fully check off this box? Do I meet all of the criteria? Do I feel 100% confident that if someone was to ask me like what one of these check marks mean, that I could provide them really in-depth information on what it is and why I meet that criteria? So I hope this checklist helps you guys out a lot. Remember, in the comments, leave me some feedback on if this was helpful, maybe something that I missed, and I'll respond with the answer to that. Give me some topics and whatnot that you want to learn coming up, because I go through my comments, and this video is actually a comment from a previous video of someone asking for this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Dylan out.